guys, this video is just going to be some tips for the Revenge of the Black Order Gauntlet. Uh, the strategy for this gauntlet is pretty simple. It's a 4-stage gauntlet. There are 0 revives, so if you have a character die, they are dead. It's not really a big deal as long as you approach this gauntlet the correct way, and I'm going to try to help you do that. The footage that we're watching here is me doing stages 61 through 64. I stopped on stage 65 just because I was sick of doing this and wanted to do something else, but I could easily have pushed quite a bit further. I don't even want to know how much further, because I never even got in danger during this run. So the first thing that I'm going to stress is that this is a 4-stage gauntlet, but you really only have what I would consider 2 real stages of gameplay. Stage 1, which I've cut a significant amount out of, and Stage 3 are both refueling stages. Stage 1 here is an EX attack only stage, so basically what you see me doing is just basic attacking these enemies to refill my EP, and then once my EP is in good shape on all my characters, I'm just filling up the EX gauge and using EX attacks and melting them down. There's really not a lot of strategy to it. Just, use the opportunity to refill your EP on stages 1 and 3. Now, stage 3 is a health drain stage where you heal from attacking but lose health if you don't attack. We'll talk about that when we get there. But this is one of the real gameplay stages here. This is stage 2. And Hawkeye is actually, in my opinion, probably one of the better characters for this stage. This stage does feature cursed enemies. You want to watch out for those kind of grayscale looking enemies. And more importantly, you want to keep your eye open for the big red glowing enemies. They're in the same place every time you run this level. There's one just on the other side of that rock formation in front of me. I like to kill him as soon as possible. If your team is going to take damage, they're going to take it by getting cursed by one of these red guys and having the life drain out of them. So once you know where those guys are, go after them and get rid of them as soon as possible. Don't let your teammates die from Vampire's Curse, because like I said, if you're geared out right, that's about the only way that you're going to die anytime soon in this gauntlet run. I made it to, I think, spot number 4, and that's if you count the ISO edit in spot number 1. But like I said, I think more people will quit from just being tired of running it than actually not being able to complete it. So that's one of the things that's great about Hawkeye right there. He has that self-synergy between his explosive arrows and his shock arrows, and that attack will take out the gun emplacements. It will take out those shield generators on the doorways, all that stuff in one attack. And he also, here's some more cursed enemies. It's great for wiping them out as well. Hawkeye is just, he is a beast on this level. It's really important to grab this ISO right here. It just makes this next part real easy. Just go straight for that gun emplacement at the top of the hill and throw this about where that red flame guy is, just to the right of that gun emplacement. You usually can take out that shield generator, and that was a misclick right there. I should have used the explosive arrows and the shock arrows, and it would have taken all that out. But I fired the fire skill instead. Okay, here, if you'll notice, there was just a Vampire's Curse enemy that came down off of that rock cliff over there. You want to make sure to take him out as soon as possible, because he will infect your teammates. So get the gun emplacements, then you want to get that cursed enemy, and then go over here and get the last shield generator. And like I said, Hawkeye can use the explosive arrows followed by the shock arrows, take that out in one hit. If you pick up a dark ISO on your way back through here, you can actually use this when you step into the next room. Just be very cautious when you step off the cliff here. Don't move too far forward, just barely step off the edge, and you can absorb the gunfire and throw that. As soon as you step forward though, it's going to trigger Proxima Midnight's appearance, And if you had the Dark ISO when she appeared, you wouldn't have it after she appeared. It removes it from your hands. Okay, so thing to notice is there is a Vampire's Curse enemy to the right up there. He's got about half a health bar left right now, and Thor's about to kill him right there. So you want to take him out before you kill Proxima Midnight, and I generally like to fight in this corner to the left because you're out of gunfire range. You see that gun firing through there. It can be quite irritating, but if you fight over here in this little corner, everything usually works out fine. And if you're geared properly, you're not going to take too much damage on this with it being a level 85 Gauntlet. So while we got a second, while I'm doing this messy job fighting Proxima, let's talk about the ISO loadout that I've got on these characters. And what I've got is 2 of the 15.5% damage reduction paired with some kind of damage. And then I've got 2 of the 20% damage reduction, but do 10% less damage. And what that works out to is 71% damage reduction out of 4 ISO. So the maximum is 73 if you have your AEP hexagons completed. So you're missing 2% damage reduction. And it does give you a penalty of like 22-23% damage, but you're able to equip 1 more damage ISO than you would normally be able to equip if you were using all 15.5% damage reduction ISO. So you're really only losing out on, 4% damage or something like that. And it was much easier to load up all 4 of my characters once I started using those ISOs. So I would definitely recommend using those if you have them paired with the damage ISO. So like I said, this is one of the refueling stages. This is stage 3. It's another fight with Supergiant. We already fought her in stage 1 between Ebony Maw and Coal Obsidian. And in this fight, it's one of the stages where you slowly lose health, but if you attack, you gain health. I basic attack with all my characters, get their EP full. If I see a character taking too much health damage, I'll switch to that character and just attack as quickly as possible and try to build their health back up and then build the EP back up. If you play this well, you can come out of this with your whole team at 95+%, at least 90+% on EP and health. So like I said, this is really more about fueling your team up than it is about any kind of gameplay strat or anything, because it's just Supergiant. And Hawkeye is fantastic in this stage. Once again, he's really the star of this Gauntlet run. He's great for disabling all these minor mobs she summons, and you can stand back out of all her AoE nonsense and just blast her into next week. So he's just great for this stage. I do generally try to save my EX attack for the next stage, and I haven't really messed around with it. I suspect if I used it at the beginning of stage 4, I could probably use it again by the end, but it was never really necessary. So here's the last stage of this gauntlet. Obviously, once you finish this, you just go back to a harder version of the first stage, and there's not a lot to say about this. If I had this to do over again, there is something neat going on here. I was using Thor's area and synergizing with Wasp rapid fire, and Miss Marvel just joined in. So I've got these 2 big AoE attacks going off at once there. It didn't happen often, but it was kind of cool when it did happen. And Wasp was synergizing with both of them with her rapid fire, so it was really cool. In any case, what I was getting around to is if I had this to do over again, I would probably keep my comp the same with the exception of Miss Marvel. I didn't really find a lot of opportunity to make good use of her. I probably could have used her sweet combo attack a little bit more, but I think if I had this to do over, I would bring a more energy efficient character, either Captain Marvel, Rocket Groot, somebody who can maintain their energy levels a little bit easier. because that's really this gauntlet's just all about maintaining energy. And it's not so much that you can't build the energy back up on stage one, because that EX round, if you noticed, all the timers are just obscenely long in these stages, with the exception of stage two. That one's one of the ones where if you kill enemies, you get more time added to the clock. It's the only one that doesn't just have a ridiculous amount of time on the clock. The rest of these have tons of time. So it's not about the time, because I got plenty of time to refill on the EX stage. But it's just I could complete that stage a lot faster if I were not spending so much time refueling. So it would improve the score, and it would just be more fun. More time on the weight screens, I guess, or less gameplay per weight screen time. But still, I would rather get through those EX stages faster. They're handy for refueling, but I still just really don't like them, because you basic attack and fill everything up and then blow your EX and just melt them, and there's just not much to them. So the Reader's Digest version is like I said, refuel on stages 1 and 3 and have fun on stages 2 and 4. Got a really messy fight with Thanos here. I didn't fish around and find any of the prettier runs. I just put in the last 4 that I did. I'm not certain if I used my EX attack. I really should have already used it. I don't know why I was holding on to it. It's not necessary to hang on to the EX, because the next stage, going back to stage 1, is an EX stage where everything charges extremely fast. So there's absolutely no reason not to use your EX here. And it probably should really be used at the point where Thanos appears, even if Proxima's still on the screen. Probably be great to use it while both of them are still there, if not before. In any case, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you're looking to push this gauntlet, you can absolutely get to top 10 if you got some damage resist ISO. It's not going to be difficult at all to get there. Or if you just want the 4 stars, you could do it with a lot less. I'll see you guys next time.